Hi, so my name is Mia, and I'm just here to talk about, I guess, the pros and cons of going to New Paltz University. It's kind of like the morning, so the sun is rising, which is really pretty, in Poughkeepsie now, so like, I love it here. But I started out in New Paltz University, it's probably been about 4 years now. I started out the year of 2019, so this is before the pandemic, and it wasn't my first choice of a school, but I saw it after seeing one other school after community college, and I was like, okay, let me try it. I think the area was beautiful, so I was like, okay, let me try it. And I think I'm gonna start with the cons first of New Paltz University, which would be the dorms. The dorms are really, I guess I would say, old. Even the ones that are renovated, they still have a lot of problems involving mice, wasps, asbestos. That's what I lived with my first year at New Paltz as a transfer student, in a hall that they had, and now they are tearing it down. But New Paltz has had a lot of asbestos issues. Um, it's not fun. I didn't really like it. So that was one part which I felt was kind of detrimental to my health. And the dorming was an issue for me, and then I moved to a dorm that was better later on, but it was still an issue because I got like a really bad roommate, so I didn't really have a good dorming experience. But overall, I would say my experience of dorming at New Paltz would have been probably I'd say a 5 out of 10. Not the best. So then we move on from dorms to talking about clubs and organizations, which is probably my biggest downfall at New Paltz University. I didn't like a lot of the clubs and organizations and how they ended up playing out for me. When I first got there, I wanted to join a club that was inclusive, everyone could join, and it was fun and very diverse and just encouraging people. That's what I love doing. And I thought I joined a club that did that. It was a club about embracing all people. It was something like that. And most of the clubs that are culture based do fashion shows, and I'm very big into fashion. I love fashion, I love people, and I like just seeing people be their confident selves, including myself. And that wasn't the experience that I got. The experience that I got was kind of a cliquey experience that was very exclusive, and pushing out different cultures as well. And what I have to say about that is New Paltz is a predominantly white school. And because of this, I've noticed, being there for about 4 years, I've noticed that a lot of people that were of minority, including myself, there were a lot of clubs that were formed for minorities specifically. However, it excluded people that were non-minority. And I see a problem with that because I feel that as a school club, you should invite all people from all walks of life. I don't think we should be excluding this culture and that culture from each other for whatever reasons. I think we should all come together professionally, positively, in an academic space. And that's not what happens at New Paltz University. A lot of the clubs are divided, by ethnic background, and I feel that that hindered on my experience as well. Another thing that I noticed too when I was in this club was that we weren't allowed to say certain things, we weren't allowed to do certain things. And for example, if we wanted to post on our Insta what we were doing, the people, the members of the club, had to know. They had to be watching, they had to be looking. And if you did something wrong, they didn't really talk to you about it, and wrong in their terms. They didn't talk to you about it. They kind of formed groups to exclude you and talk about it while you didn't know, so that they could bring up a case against you. And I'll talk about what that means. I don't want to spend too much time on these school clubs because I really think that at New Paltz University they were terrible. But anyways, my experience being in the school club, I ended up getting so-called kicked out of it. And I'll tell you why. There was a lot of things going on, and I'll say in all cultural clubs at New Paltz, that I didn't agree with, such as using funds from the college to support partying and giving alcohol to minors and substances. I didn't support it, and I told the club that I was in, and they quote unquote told me, members of the club told me, the president of the club told me actually, she said, quote, you're not being a team player. When I said I don't want to participate in these acts that don't go with my morals. Now I'm 25 now, but I was like probably 24, 23. And being in college at that age, and still in college at this age because I double major and went to community college, a lot of people are minors. They're younger than me. So I don't support any of that because I don't want anything bad to happen to me. I want to be a mom, I want to be a teacher, and I just want to have a blessed life. So I don't support giving alcohol to minors at all. So I didn't want to be a part of it. So that was one part of the club. And it's kind of like basically, I realized that a lot of the culture clubs, the fashion show clubs of New Paltz, you just want to party. That's it. It's about throwing on a show and partying. I joined clubs like that. Like I wanted to join a culture club because I thought that we could do like field trips, we could do nonprofit organizations, we could like communicate with people, reach out to the community. I really thought those were the things that we would be doing. I thought the money that the school gives the club it comes from students. It all comes from students. All that money, I thought we could, give back to the students. Give them like a field trip, give them like a community outreach, give them an experience to go to. That's what I did in community college. I love my community college for that. All the money like went straight back to the students who gave it, like in festivals and trips and all that. So that's what I thought it would be like joining a school club. I would be able to make a difference, have people come together of different backgrounds and just like mingle and talk and share the differences and be able to talk in a respected environment as well. But that wasn't the case when I was in that club. So I said no to a lot of these things, and it made people very upset. And a lot of stuff happened after that wasn't okay. So basically there was a night where the meeting was called, and I had a really bad headache too. I wasn't even going to show up to that meeting. I didn't know what was going to happen either. And I'm thinking it's a regular meeting, and this school club decided that they were going to kick me out, basically. And they voted me out, and they were voting other people out throughout the semester, which I didn't understand. A lot of, I would say, black girls in that club, 4 of them got kicked out, including myself. And basically, it was a really toxic meeting where people just told me how bad of a person I was, told me I wasn't a team player. Basically, it was like a meeting where I got bullied, and student organizations such as Student Association was there. There was members, and they saw it, and I was bullied and did nothing about it. And it was a disgusting moment in my life at New Paltz University. So bullying and harassment happened at that meeting. They voted me out, and I was very upset at the moment and the time, and I didn't even know what to think. So after that happened, I tried going to people at New Paltz University to tell them what happened and to see if they could even help or figure it out, because I worked really hard to be in that club and I did a lot of things to support the club, so I thought I deserved to at least do what was supposed to be done, which was an event at the end of the semester usually, or mid-semester. And there was just a lot, like faculty there wasn't very helpful. They kind of wanted to hide the situation that happened, and there's just no support. So all in all, because I want to wrap it up, I don't want to make this about one school club or school clubs in general. I would say if I were to look back on that experience and do anything different, I think I would not join a school club at New Paltz University. And I say this because I'm 25 years old and I went to community college and I loved it. I absolutely loved community college, which I was surprised because when I first got there, I was like, no, I don't want to do this. And then I loved community college, 100%. I'll make a video about that. And I did school clubs. I was orientation leader. I was like the president of a club, an executive of a club, and it was all inclusive. Anyone can join, anyone can help out, and there was always activities to do. It really wasn't more so about partying. It wasn't about being popular. School clubs are just about you doing what you want to do because you want to do it, not because of the reward, such as a scholarship, such as a trophy. You did it because you genuinely wanted to help, and that's what I loved about school clubs and community college. So I would say to my old self to not join the school clubs at New Paltz University, but also if anyone listening wants to join, you should do it. Don't let what I'm saying stop you, but I want to let what I'm saying make you aware of the situation at New Paltz University. So that's my perspective on school clubs. I just would tell myself not to do it, and I'm gonna say why. So I'm gonna start getting towards the pros. Sorry, the pros of, I would say, coming up here to New Paltz. Not really specifically the university, but the university did bring me to the moment where I'm at, I guess. I would say that there's so much to do outside of New Paltz. The areas that are like 15 to 30 minutes away have a lot of nonprofits, they have a lot of organizations, they have a lot of community-based things that are free to join. You might even get a job, which I have gotten several jobs, and I realized that I'm gonna say one thing is leaving that school club, I gained focus of what I came to college to do, which was to build my career, was to become more of a professional in my career, to learn more, to gain more of an experience. So I was kind of like, upset at the moment about whatever happened. But what I'm going to say is the pros is there's so many things to do around New Paltz University that you will most likely never get bored. I will say that you will need some form of transportation to get to these things outside of New Paltz. I used my vehicle, but at first I didn't, and it was very hard. I had to walk a lot. I had to use the bus. I had to use the bus that's provided by the university, and then I had to use a public bus. If I wanted to go down to the city, I had to use a train or trailways, which was fine. And these are all great means of transportation, but they do take long, and there's some walking involved. So scheduling, you just have to schedule accordingly, and I think it's possible to use these forms of transportation. I just would recommend probably getting a license and getting a car if you can, or carpooling with others. I did that when I lived on campus. I always loved like helping my friends get around and talking, because sometimes long trips, 30 minutes to an hour, can get a little boring. So I kind of like those car rides with friends. So that was that. And I feel like with that happening, me reaching out, I've gotten a lot of jobs that I still have till today that I absolutely love, and people that I love and admire, and they help me and teach me so much. Like, I've been learning a lot from the jobs that I've had, and they've been very positive, very uplifting, and educational. So I appreciate what I have right now in my life, and I just think that moving forward, I'm just going to keep focusing on me more in college. I think focusing on yourself can be a very good thing. Making friends is making friends. That's great. But I don't think it should be, how do I put it, fake. I don't think it should be forced. I think that you'll make friends how you want to make friends, not the way that other people are telling you to make friends. So don't feel that you have to do things like, example, join a club to make friends. Make genuine friends on your own time, and it's up to you to keep those friends or not. And I think that's the great part about saying that this is your life. So what I will say overall is that I had a lot more cons to the New Paltz University experience that could be explained in a lot more depth, but I don't really want to talk about so many cons because I feel like it's not going to help progress in my life at all. I think that if I keep pushing forward with all the positive things, such as like my career and my academics and graduating and traveling, all these things that are happening right now that are very positive, is the best part. And I forgot one thing. Another pro I would say at New Paltz University would be the arts department. I overall had like ups and downs with like the department and experiences there, but I will say that I genuinely learned a lot. I learned a lot in the 4 years that I've been a part of the arts at New Paltz, and there's so many classes that you can take, from like printmaking, all the way to silk screening, all the way to like paper making, metals workshops, and metals program classes, and sculpture and photography. I just learned so much. Like, I never had a camera before, and then I took 2 photography classes, and now like 2, 3 years later, now I own a camera. I finally could afford to buy one, and I'm experimenting. I have so many processes that I do now in art that I didn't do before, and yeah, I would say I loved the experience of experimenting with so many different resources that New Paltz University had to offer in the arts, even to costume design and theater. I was so amazed by how much detail and how much creativity is put into those programs. Um, I would definitely take more classes overall in the arts of New Paltz. I do think that it should be funded more. It's not funded as much as it should be as other majors at the school. I do think the arts deserves a lot more funding, and yeah, it was a really interesting foundation to start my art career, I would say, or let me say midway through, because now I have to get my master's, but I already have an associate's degree that I appreciate and love so much. It was an amazing experience, community college. I'm gonna make a community college video. I just wanted to make a New Paltz University video because I felt like, as a Black woman going to New Paltz University, I want to talk about my experience, because it's very important, I think, for others to have a voice, not just the ones that New Paltz University presents to you on a screen or through their motives. I think it should be self-motivated and also determined to speak up about problems and not be afraid of what New Paltz University might do to you for speaking up. You're allowed to speak up, and no university can take that from you. So just know that. Yeah, so that's it. It's early in the morning, so I should probably go do something with my day, and I'm excited. I'm excited to start the day. Thank you. Bye, guys.